We're here at SEMA in fabulous Las Vegas, and right now we're going to run down the top 5 best cars at this year's show, starting with this one. This is a 1958 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud that's been totally reworked by Icon and Jonathan Ward. Everything underneath the skin of this car is totally new. It's got an Art Morrison chassis, it's got an LS7, which means it makes a stupid amount of horsepower, and you really couldn't tell any of that from looking at this thing driving down the street. The wheels are bigger, which suggests that something might be going on underneath, but for the most part, this is a real sleeper. The interior has been totally redone in beautiful green, but the exterior has been totally left just the way that they found it. It's got great patina, it's got rust in a few places, but it's still structurally sound. It's really cool seeing something like this where everything's just been left, and then they've added something really cool underneath, which is the theme of a lot of cars here at SEMA. But this particular one is great because you really don't see a lot of English cars, Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, any of that kind of stuff of this vintage having cool stuff done to it. So good job, Jonathan. This is a 1948 Tucker 48. They only built 51 of these cars, and it is super cool. This one's been totally redone in beautiful, beautiful blue, and it really looks amazing here. On one side, it's got brand new wheels, I think they're 20 inches or something like that, and on the other side it's got its original style wheels with big fat white walls. The newer wheels suggest that it's got something special under the hood, which is actually the trunk, and that's correct. It's got a twin turbo LS motor that you can barely see, so this thing probably hauls. This thing is super cool. I love it. This car is really incredible. This is a Cunningham C3, of which 25 were made in the 1950s. Originally these would have been made for kind of street versions of the Cunningham prototype race cars that would have raced against Ferrari and all sorts of stuff in the golden age of motorsports. This one is fitted with a 331 cubic inch Chrysler Hemi V8, which makes it super duper cool. This one's been left in its original shape. It's got nice patina on it. A lot of the chrome on it still has rust or bubbling, which makes it look really cool. It's got a great look to it. Even when you look inside, you can see the dashboard is the original dashboard. It's got paint falling off. It's got a just excellent look to it. This is sitting here at the Dynamat booth, so they've Dynamatted it. They've actually done, I think, a restoration underneath the surface, although you really can't tell. They've done a fantastic job, so this is probably a totally structurally sound vehicle with great patina on top. I love this thing. I'd drive it. All 25 of these cars still exist today. They're all known, all the locations are known, and Jay Leno actually has one of these too. He just completed an extensive restoration, and I think it's one of the most beautiful cars ever made. This is a super awesome car. This is actually Robert Downey Jr.'s 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 302. Robert Downey Jr. was involved in the entire process of building this car, which was built by Speed Corps and kind of sanctioned and overlooked by Ford. The interior of this is really cool. It's got kind of a nice weave in the seats. Everything looks modern, but it also looks classic. The exterior has a great paint job. It's got a really nice yellow hue to it with carbon fiber accents all around it. Usually, I'd like to see chrome on an old car like this, but for something like this, a resto mod, the carbon fiber really works here, and the wheels also work really well. They're kind of mini light style, giving this thing an SCCA look. This is just an excellent car, and I gotta commend Robert Downey Jr. You are a champion. This is one of the best cars at the show. Congratulations. This is Chip Foose's P32, which is a total homage to World War II warplanes. This is an amazing car, and I will fully admit that I am not the biggest fan of Chip Foose's. I think that a lot of stuff that he does sometimes is really kind of not in good taste, including the Mustang that he did this year. But this is a wonderful looking little hot rod. Definitely envisioned as if World War II fighter pilots took their planes and turned them into cars after the war, and I think it looks fantastic. It's in a bare metal finish. This has a Zephyr V12. The interior is all totally done in a period correct kind of look. It looks like a hot rod, it looks like an airplane, and back then, hot rodders were pilots. Everybody loved airplanes in the 40s and 50s, and this just totally speaks to that era. It looks excellent. Well done, Foose.